were here last week, so I'm glad you guys are here for this week. We're going to start with the 3 cool things about essential oils. Some of you guys already know this, so don't blurt out the answers. Does everybody know anything about essential oils? Do you know anything about essential? You do a little bit. Okay, cool. Awesome. So there's 3 things that are very cool about essential oils. They're 100% safe and effective. We all use doTerra essential oils. We know that they are CPTG. Yes, CPTG, certified pure tested grade oils, which means they are pure oils. They don't have any fillers in them. They don't have any additives. They're 100% pure. So that's the first cool thing about essential oils. They're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So like your herbal supplements that you get at some health food stores and things like that, they're 50 to 70 times more powerful than those. That's really powerful. I don't know what else to say about that. The next thing that's cool about essential oils, and there's going to be a quiz, so you guys really need to pay attention, right?
And if you want a pen or you want clipboards to take notes, let me know and I'll bring them around.
The second thing is that they're more effective than a lot of modern approaches that you might find in traditional medicine for people and for pets. You know this. Yes, she has a very good testimony. In a minute, I'll talk. I'll see what Kelsey's got going on. So they're also more affordable than traditional medicine and over-the-counter drugs or supplements or whatever you can buy at the grocery store or the drugstore. People have this misconception that essential oils are expensive, but when it's a few drops of an essential oil versus a trip to the vet or a trip to the doctor, it is immensely more cost effective than doing either one of those things, right? So those are the top 3 cool things about essential oils. Did you guys all get that? Okay. All right. So, you know what? I forgot to see if anybody wanted a beadlet so that we can all stay awake. Beadlets?
I need a beadlet.
Sure, let's all have a beadlet.
I have spearmint and I have On Guard.
Let them decide. Tell them what the difference is.
Decide. The spearmint is, everybody had a spearmint last week. It'll wake you up for, give you a little zing.
Supermint.
Oh, supermint. It's a supermint. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then the other one, the On Guard is, I love On Guard. That's like my favorite thing. It's, what do you want to say about On Guard really quick, Linda?
On Guard.
On Guard.
It's a protective blend.
There you go. It's a protective blend. Yeah,
It boosts your immune system and kills all the bugs that you've been exposed to when you went grocery shopping and picked up things that other people
it's very yummy. It's my favorite. My favorite.
Yeah.
Just all right. So now we're all going to be awake, except for me because I didn't take one yet. So it comes back around. All right. So the next thing I'm going to go over, and we're kind of on a theme of 3s, okay? So we're going to be 3, 3, and 3. The next 3 things that we're going to talk about are the ways you can use essential oils for your dogs, okay? So you can diffuse them. Noelle has some oil diffusing and a diffuser over on her desk. You guys can't really smell it out here, but it is working on all of us. So we're all going to be calm. George.
George is so calm, aren't you?
So dogs, I know some of you guys know this, their olfactory system is way, way better than ours. Like 10,000 to 100,000 times better, depending on the breed. Plus, bloodhounds have an immense sense of smell. They have like 300 million sense receptors in their nose. So that's why they use bloodhounds for tracking people. And, we had a really cool presentation with Jeannie Bondio a few years ago that when she did when she used to work for the sheriff's office in Los Angeles on finding missing persons with her bloodhounds, and it's just amazing. So that's the first thing, is they can smell it in a diffuser, so you can diffuse it around them. They can smell more than we can. So we can't smell that over here necessarily, but Player and George, they can smell it. You don't have to, no. Well, all right. Second way is topically to their skin. So you can put it on their skin. You can put it on their, usually the best spot to put it on is, we'll show you when we bring Player out, is right behind their neck on their spine. And you put it on their spine, it gets into their whole system because it gets absorbed really quick. It gets absorbed much quicker on their spine than it does if they ingest it. So you think about ingesting something, but it has to go through your digestive system to actually get to work, right? If it goes directly into your bloodstream, it works a lot faster. So you put it on their spine, or you can put it directly on. Do you want to tell us about your issue with your buddy this week, Jack? Talk about his legs when you put it on.
So, yeah, he's got rheumatoid arthritis. My legs rock. And so Saturday night I started tea tree oil. And by Monday the hair's growing back in there.
Yeah, she texted me. She was like,
Did you take pictures by any chance? I know.
Shoot.
He had open sores and scabs. And it was scabbed over when I started the tea tree oil. So did you put up with the coconut? I just did it straight.
she did straight, yeah.
How many drops did you put on? I think I did 1 or 2. I put it on my hand and then just rub it in. But it's 2 or 3 times a day. It's
Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. She texted me. She was like, I can't believe it worked that fast. It was like 2 days. And it's almost completely healed.
We've been fighting this for 4 months.
Yeah. So, and I've got one that we can pass around about Zella's belly for you guys who haven't seen it, because I used it on my dog Zella. On her belly, I used some oils. She had some horrible rashes that I worked on for months with the vets, and nothing ever worked. And in 48 hours, I had the same results. It cleared up the rash on her belly so fast. So topically is another one you can use. They can also ingest it internally. So the tea tree oil from doTerra will not kill your dog if you use it properly. Okay, like she put a little bit on him, he licked it off. It probably was already really absorbed when he licked anyway, but it's not going to kill him, unless you dump a whole bottle on them. So
there's a lot of stupid stuff online that says
yeah, there is. If you Google it, it'll say, oh, don't use tea tree oil, it's going to kill your dog. But we talked about that last week. So those are the 3 ways that you can use essential oils with your dogs. So we've got, oh yeah, you want to pass that around? That'd be great if anybody hasn't seen it. The one picture is of the rash that was on Zella's belly. And then the other one was 2 days later. It was right before Thanksgiving. 48 hours. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? So, yeah. So, 3 cool things. Does anybody know what the 3 cool things are? You guys already know what the 3 cool things are. So these guys that are new. The 3 cool things that we just talked about. Yes! Look at you!
I love you.
She is on the
I think
ball.
she gets the oil for that one, man.
You do, actually. You know what, Caprice, you do.
That's using her resources.
She's going to get a wild orange oil just for that. Okay, because that was really just on. And then, okay, so we're gonna have a quiz about the way you can use them after we talk about the oils. So the first oil we're going to talk about, and today's theme of our whole thing is we're talking about skin and hair, primarily because Noelle has a corgi she's going to bring out here in a minute. We're going to put some on him, Player. And if you don't know Player's little background, do you want to tell what happened to Player real quick?
Yeah. Let me come up here. So
Yeah,
the
please come
people
up
in TV
here.
land can see me.
Please come up here in TV land.
Yeah, so Player got attacked by my neighbor's dog. He was actually, the dog broke a hole in the fence, and he reached through and grabbed him by his head and his neck and pulled him through the fence and attacked him. And
How old was he?
he was 2.5 at the time.
Little guy.
And my neighbor just stuffed him back through the fence and called me and said that there'd been a dog fight. And so when I got home, I came home to 2 bloody dogs. He grabbed 2 of my dogs and pulled them through the fence and attacked them. And rushed him to the vet. And of course, the vet was Edward Scissorhands and just absolutely shaved him all over the place. And, you know, I realized that they were doing what they felt was best at the time, but it damaged his coat and it never grew back. And he was one of my show prospects. And so he's got points towards his championship, but he'll probably never finish because his coat is so screwed up. But I've been doing some essential oils, and I'll bring him out here in just a second, and you guys can see the new hair growth that's coming in, because it's coming in these funky little clumps. So, you know, he's pretty rough looking, but my hope is that these clumps start to just grow and come together, and maybe he will get to show again. I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how some of these oils will help. At first, I was just using copaiba to try to bring it in, but there's so many blends out there, and this is one of them that I'm really excited to present to you guys.
So we
today,
did some research and put it together. Do you want to just continue to talk about rosemary oil? Because that's one of the three oils we're going to talk today are rosemary, black spruce, and frankincense.
Yeah, so rosemary is on the Gross list, and the Gross list is generally recognized as safe. And this is a list that's put out by the FDA. While it's a safe oil, care still needs to be given in how it's delivered to the dog. So we don't want to overdo rosemary oil. It's used in French hospitals to clear the air as part of the blends that they use. And then Dr. Melissa Shelton also uses it in her veterinary clinic as a blend that she has going all the time in her office. It has been known to help kennel situations, like some of the coughs and things that dogs can get when there's a large population of dogs. So used in doggy daycares, groomers, veterinary offices, boarding facilities, it has a chance to reduce the coughing and the other diseases that are communicable and dogs can catch. It's also got bug repelling properties, which I think is really cool. Rosemary's benefits include liver protection, stimulation of hair growth, reduction of blemishes. It's an anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-parasitic, and it gives enhanced mental clarity. So, yeah, so if you're suffering like me and you can't remember why you walked in the room.
So we have it diffusing over here.
The only room I ever really remember why I'm in there is the bathroom. The rest of the time I just wander around going, what am I doing? Why am I in here? You know, there's been a lot of interesting research on rosemary. Studies show that the tracheal muscle contractions due to inflammation and irritants are lessened when they're exposed to this oil. So I thought that was really kind of cool. It can aid in treating trachea issues. So like collapsed tracheas or mega
esophagus.
those types of things. So I thought that was another thing that's really cool. It may be used as a blend, and I think it does best as a blend rather than as by itself. And there's lots of ways that you can use this in a blend. So this 3-part blend that we've got for you guys, we're going to talk about each one of the oils that went into it. There's a couple of urban legends around. Would you grab me my water? Yeah, it's right by my chair.
Oh, right there.
Awesome.
I thought it was on her desk.
I'll take it. Thank you. Sorry. I'm taking a medication that makes my mouth really dry, so I feel like my lips are sticking together. There we go.
That's never good.
Never good. So there's a couple of urban legends. One of them is that it's not safe to use if you've got high blood pressure. And another one was that it was cause seizures or epilepsy. And there's been several studies that were done. One of the biggest ones was done by Tisserand and Young that kind of dispelled the notion that this will cause epilepsy, seizures, or what was the other one? High blood pressure. Yeah. So it is safe to use. You definitely want to dilute this oil. So if you're going to use it by itself, you want to use 1 drop of rosemary oil per 20 parts of fractionated coconut oil or some other type of carrier oil. And then you would give 1 drop of that dilution serum that you've got together per 20 pounds per dog if you're going to use it just by itself. The best way to use rosemary is to diffuse it in the air, but it can also be used topically. So if you're going to use it topically, you want to use it as that dilution blend that I just talked about. And the best place to put it is between the shoulder blades on the back of your dog's neck. So we'll bring Player out here in a minute after we've talked about all this stuff, and you guys can see what he looks like, and we'll put a little bit on to show you how to do that.
So the rosemary oil, if you guys want to pass
yeah,
it around,
that's my rosemary talk. Did I forget anything, Linda?
For humans,
Yeah.
they are truly the dog experts. I'm a human
Mm-hmm.
expert. They use rosemary oil for primarily women, but people who have lost their hair with chemotherapy to enhance hair regrowth. And it is for literally will help regrow liver tissue. It's hugely amazing. It also opens up the respiratory tree. It's my husband's absolute favorite oil. He has a lot of food allergies, and he can have literally one potato chip and eat an inhaler. And
Wow.
he won't use an inhaler anymore because he uses essential oils. And rosemary is one of the oils that I put in a special blend that I make for him that has like 5 or 6 other oils, and it just opens his lungs up and he doesn't need anything.
I love that.
I also found that it helps prevent premature graying and dandruff, and helps with dry, itchy scalp.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So rosemary, as I dug into it, was like, wow, this is a really great oil. Yeah.
and you can use it in cooking too. I put that in a pot roast or whatever and cooked with it. A couple of drops. It smells really good.
Yep. Any questions? How would you guys use rosemary oil?
I just want to smell it. It smells good.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
Right.
So if you've got allergies or maybe you've got breathing problems, that might be a great way to use it. Maybe my hair's getting thinner as I get older, and I've always had really great hair. And I don't know if it's because I'm gray now, I can see my scalp, or if I'm losing hair, what it is, but I'm anxious to try it on myself. So yeah, awesome. Thank you guys.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I might use it on the dry, itchy scalp
Mm-hmm.
because, like, this is crazy, but like, I know it's not good to wash your hair every night, and so sometimes I'll be 3 or 4 days without washing it, and I'm like, I need to wash my hair, and my scalp is like dry and itchy, but I'll go to places and 5 people will compliment my hair. And I'm like, geez, maybe I shouldn't wash it.
I love it. And you'll smell great.
Yeah.
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 I love it.
So if you were gonna do it for dry, itchy scalp, would you just put it with the oil and just rub it on your scalp?
I would dilute it and with the coconut oil and put it in your hair.
Just
Yeah.
rub it on the scalp?
Yeah, I would totally.
Okay. Weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
For my clients who are recovering from chemotherapy and regrowing their hair, I have them put it in a little spray bottle the size of those little spray bottles that are back there on the table. This size. Oh, and I actually have a blend of 5 different oils that includes rosemary, and fill it up with fractionated coconut oil. Put a towel on your pillow, and then spray it at night and rub it in. Oh.
Yeah.
And it will cause your hair to grow thicker and fuller, and probably take care of your itchy scalp. Okay, make it more shiny.
Yep. And so that's awesome. That's all I got.
Well, that's rosemary. And
Yes.
we're going to go over the next 2. Do you want to grab Player while I'm talking?
Sure.
Okay, so black spruce. Has anybody ever, who would have even thought about black spruce oil? When I told her, she was like, really? Okay. So black spruce oil, it's made from the needles of the black spruce tree. That's where the oil comes from. That's where what it's extracted from. It has historically been used by Native Americans for centuries to promote skin health as part of their spiritual cleansing and their healing practices. So it has, I'm going to really try to pronounce this. Bornyl acetate is the natural occurring chemical in black spruce. It is it can be used, the bornyl acetate portion of it, to treat symptoms of different kinds of skin irritations that are dermatitis, eczema, that sort of thing, that the bornyl acetate will help with. So it can, just using black spruce by itself will soothe minor skin irritations, and it's very, well, we've got it diffusing over there. It's calming. So let's just pass it around. I'll start it with Kelsey.
These three are diffusing.
Yes, they are diffusing, and I got a sample bottle of them for you guys to take home. So yay. It is, it's been used to quell like skin irritations that are caused by a hormone imbalance or some type of stress. So you can use it, it'll help with that sort of thing. If you've got a breakout of some sort because you're stressed or you have some imbalance going on, black spruce can help take that down. Okay, so it's used to treat that. And the last one we want to talk about, I would,
Can I just add something before
yes,
the last bit?
yes.
You know how you walk into a forest and it's almost impossible to be angry? I mean, you just feel better. Literally, bornyl acetate counters chemically, at the cellular level, chemically counters anger. It's almost impossible to be angry in a forest.
Can I have a gallon of that?
Gonna bathe in that before work?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? You could put some on Rachel when you go in the courtroom. Yeah.
You need a drop.
Yeah. Seriously. Seriously, you could. We need to get you a little diffuser to put on. You could get one of those collar diffusers and put it on her. So people, when they touch, yeah, okay, anyway, that's a whole nother thing. So, and then the last one we're going to talk about is frankincense. Frankenstein. Frankincense. Oh, I'll put I love frankincense. And I was concerned about how these three together would smell, but they smell really good together. So,
Nice.
yeah. So they're kind of earthy. It's got like an earthy smell to it. But anyway, the frankincense, we're just going to touch on what it's going to do for player in this particular situation, because the uses for frankincense in our little book is like 3-4 pages. And we don't have time today to go over all of the uses for frankincense oil. It's been used for centuries. The ancient Egyptians used it in perfumes, and they actually used it in salves for soothing the skin. So it's been used for skin irritations for literally thousands of years. It's obviously very valuable. It's, oh, I thought you were going to say something. I was waiting for you to come up and say something. So it's very valuable, and it's got, okay, so tell me if I'm saying this wrong. Apinine, is that right? Alpha pinene, okay. Apinene in my book.
It's a little slanted function in the egg.
Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. So alpha pinene, that's the chemical that's naturally occurring in frankincense oil that they've clinically found it to maintain healthy skin structure. So that's another reason why we're going to use it on player, right? The benefits of it in this particular instance, like I said, there's pages and pages, but what we're talking about today, it stimulates blood circulations to the scalp and the hair follicles, and it helps promote hair growth in that way. So it's going to help stimulate his skin. As for people, it would stimulate your hair, your skin follicles in your hair. For him, on his skin. And it will reduce the amount of hair loss for him, help to reduce that. For us, and probably for him, because I know I see a lot on social media about people that have early spay and neuters, where they've got, they've got spay code or, whatever, because they've spayed them too early. Well, you can help mitigate that by using frankincense oil because it gets in there at a cellular level and it helps with that. And it helps with the dry splitting. You know, some dogs have split ends on their coat, basically frayed ends like we get. And it can help with that. It also adds shine and smoothness to your hair without being greasy. So there you go, Glenda. You should be using some frankincense oil. So all three of these things can be used in the 3 ways we discussed earlier. Do you guys remember?
Yes, skin.
Yes. Good for you. Yay. Do I have anything here? I do. I have another wild orange. I didn't label it. Look at that. Okay, cool. So those are the 3 ways that we can use these 3 oils on our dogs. And Noelle is going to bring Claire over here. We don't have a grooming table to put them on.
This is a heart attack waiting to happen.
I know, poor little buddy. But you
Poor
guys,
little buddy.
you know, George is a corgi, and so you know what their coat should look like.
Isn't that sad?
Part of what I think happened, and we talked about this, Noel and I discussed, we believe that a lot of his hair issue is due to the emotional stress that he never got over the trauma of the attack. And that has affected him cellularly.
How old was he when it happened?
He was 2.5.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And how old is he now?
He is 5.
Wow. I
Yeah,
can't believe
and
it's
so
been that
he's
long.
still got, I don't know if you can see, just bald patches on his neck.
Did you check his thyroid?
Yes.
She's checked everything.
Yeah, we've done like the whole, then I was thinking maybe Addison's or Cushing's or something like that because of the coat, but he doesn't have any disease that's causing this. It's just what we got right now, huh? But I don't know if you guys can see these weird little clumps of hair that are coming out. So
George.
George, what you doing, huh?
Georgie Porgy.
Yeah.
I'll let him, you have him for a minute while I put this on him. So I put together a blend of these 3 oils with some fractionated coconut oil, which we also have with doTerra. And we're going to put this on him. And this bottle is for Noelle. So she's going to take this home and she's going to put this on him twice a day. And we talked about putting it on them. You can put it on them twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, which Kelsey and I have discussed with her dog. She's putting a little bit of some things on him at noon to help with the issues that he has. But basically 1 drop of the diluted mixture per 20 pounds of your dog. So how much does he weigh?
He weighs 30 pounds.
Okay. He's a little bitty
He's
feller.
a little guy.
Yeah, so we're going to put basically 2
I would do 2 drops.
2 drops twice a day on him, on his spine. And she's also going to use this to shampoo him when she gives him a bath. She's going to put it and just, massage it all over him. And we're going to...
You've been doing this.
The copaiba I was doing for about 3 months. And so that's where the tufts have come from. And then he gets beer and egg baths. And I know that sounds really weird, but the beer and egg baths have actually helped with bringing in the coat. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures of his bald spots, and I'll take some more pictures as we go, just so you guys can kind of see and follow along with his story. And
because we haven't started this yet. This is brand new.
We haven't started this blend yet. So this is brand new. And so I'm excited to see what it'll do. And hopefully all these tufts will even out. Yeah.
Well, the stuff that you used before,
Mhm.
what was it called?
Copaiba.
That's the one we talked about last week.
Yeah. How was that supposed to help?
It's one of the many benefits of copaiba,
His hair?
is hair regrowth. Yeah. Skin and hair.
Skin and hair.
It also helps with inflammation.
Hmm.
So, and the
So
Frank...
did he improve with it?
Yes, he did. So that's where this has come in from, is from the copaiba. And the only thing I used was copaiba on him.
And it's interesting because his face looks normal.
Yeah.
Just the rest of them.
Yep.
So what's different, like, okay, you did the cold pipe for 3 months.
Mhm.
So what is the recommended time to stay with one product before changing to another regime?
That's a question for Linda, probably.
They just, through their research, have discovered the rosemary and the black spruce and the frankincense. A couple of other things about frankincense. Frankincense, if you don't know what to put on something, put frankincense on it. It has 25 different chemical components in very small amounts. So it will work on anything. It's just got 25 different facets of things that it'll do. If you've got a dark spot on your skin, put frankincense on it, it'll lighten it. You've got, just, oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well-
There's thousands of research articles on the medicinal benefits of frankincense. We're not allowed to say because the FDA doesn't like it. There's thousands of articles in clinical research on the use of frankincense in cancers. If you don't know what to put on something, put frankincense on it.
Okay, so
And copaiba, that's COPAIBA, copaiba. Some people say copaiba. I tell people to remember it by Copacabana.
And she can still use the copaiba on him. In addition to this, I would recommend it because it's a great anti-inflammatory. One of the other things that frankincense does is it helps with emotional distress. If you smell it, it smells a little bit like they used to have it in funeral homes. Okay, for people who are grieving, right? Many years ago, I had a dog that had, one of my dogs had just passed away, and I took my other dog to a thing in Denver that was on acupuncture and therapies, and they passed oils around for the dogs to smell them, and the one that she just stuck her nose into was frankincense. And the lady that was doing the class said, well, did someone just die? And I was like, yes, her brother just died like 2 weeks ago. And she's like, well, this is what she needs, because that was what she was drawn to, was help or emotionally drawn to. So because I think he suffered an emotional trauma, I'm hoping that the frankincense will help with that.
And I know it sounds weird, but he sees a dog psychic, and he told the psychic that he was he wanted us to put in a floodlight in the back so that he could see if the dog was coming.
He's still scared.
What happened to that dog? Is it still there?
It's still there.
So I'm going to let Noelle show you guys where to put this on player. Let's get him in front of the camera so
Yeah.
everybody can see it.
Hey, little man. Come here, Player. Player. Come here, buddy. But I found a friend.
I know. There we are. Now
So,
we're in the middle of the camera.
Right here at the base of the neck, where the neck ends and the spine begins, this is where we want to start it. And you're going to part the hair a little bit. And then I'm just going to put 2 drops, if I can.
And that is already diluted.
Yes. Come out. There. Just
Here we
tapping
go.
twice. Awesome. And then what happens when you put it on the spine is it immediately enters the bloodstream. So this is the fastest and most effective way to put oils onto a dog. That bloodstream then carries it to all of the vital organs and all of the places that it needs to go. So it is absorbed really quickly, and I'm really excited to see the benefits of this. So I'm definitely going to be adding this to his egg and beer bath. And I'm going to take pictures of those bald spots on his neck, and we'll do some before and after pictures so you guys can see how the hair is coming back in. I also use frankincense. I got bit by a dog, and I've got a big scar on my belly, and I've been using frankincense on that, and it's actually breaking down the scar tissue, and it's looking so much better.
Hi, little man.
So yeah, and it was a big, thick, and it
Let me
was
get you all
a
better.
painful scar. It hurt to touch it.
Okay.
Oh,
there
thank you
go,
for
buddy.
this.
Yep, that's yours.
Okay. So,
Is that the skin on like a man's bald spot?
Just, hi, honey.
This is not that easy to correct. It's genetic.
It is.
boy, you did so good. I'm so proud of you. Okay, come up. In you go. Good boy.
So I didn't put the little stoppers in
Good boy,
these because
George.
last week we had such an issue getting it out. But I'm going to give you guys a stopper if you want to put it in there. So don't open it and tip it up. It'll just dump everything out. But this is the blend if you want to smell it.
And if you do use the stopper, and I do recommend it, put the stopper in there and you just tap it on the back. You can hold it upside down and you can, try for.
Oh, and I only made 5, so you guys have to share since you go home to the same house.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
On the back of it, it'll squirt a little bit in the palm of your hand.
Bless you.
Or you can squirt it underneath the dog's neck.
Okay, that's.
So
the stopper,
the stopper just keeps it from just pouring out.
Yeah, it just has the little droplet in the top. Remember last week we had these and it's hard to get them out. You have to tap it on the bottom. Yeah. So I just didn't put them in this time because, I wanted you guys to be able to choose if you wanted to do that or not. So that is all we've got for our presentation today. And I'm going to turn it over to Linda. She's going to talk to you guys a little bit about.
Well, keeping in the theme of threes, first of all, did you do an awesome job?
Here's yours. Here's yours. And Linda's awesome, by the way. She has so many little initials behind her name. I can't even tell you what they are.
Doesn't matter.
Degrees. She has degrees.
Doesn't matter. Too much stuff. But I think she needs a little acknowledgement because she's been doing this, what, 5 months?
I don't know.
Yeah, not long. And she and Noelle, this is the first time Noelle's been up here. If you ever decide, honey, on a Changing change of careers and going into comedy.
We're very entertaining.
Yeah, clearly.
On the road.
So they're still learning how to do this, and they've put these classes together all by themselves. I've not helped them at all. They've done this. They've opened up their space just out of the love of the animals and the love of people, and to help you guys. So they bring me in to go over the last part, which is 3 ways to buy oils. Okay, so there's 3 ways to buy oils, and the first way is retail. And I don't recommend retail. It's the most expensive way to buy retail. Nobody here is gonna buy retail. I mean, we really don't recommend it. The second way is to buy wholesale. Okay, and the way you buy wholesale is you set up an account. The reason we only use doTerra is because there is a study that went out by, you're familiar with consumers advocates? Where, they go out and they study, all the best toasters and they give you all the information about. They went out and studied the top essential oil companies in the United States. And they studied 11 companies, and they did 21 oils out of 11 companies. And they found all but 3 of them were contaminated. And the only 3 that were not contaminated is doTerra, a company called Ameo. I've never seen a bottle of their oil. I've never heard of them. And a company called Aromatics International, which unless you are in aromatherapy school, you've probably never heard of. My aromatherapy certification, I was thrilled to know that they used clean oils. But I went with doTerra for a lot of different reasons, but mainly because they're pure. So we all use doTerra, and we all have wholesale accounts. Now, there is one other way to buy your oils, and that's below wholesale. And that's the only way I buy my oils. I started that way long before I went into this as a business. You do not have to teach classes and sell oils to be able to get your oils at below wholesale. So the way you do it below wholesale is you set up a doTerra account and you start with a kit. And doTerra has several different kits that you can start with that are called enrollment kits. And basically what happens is we'll say, in a little bit, we'll just come by and sit down next to you and say, what are we working on? Right? And we'll help you identify what's the best kit for you. And then what doTerra does is they take that kit and they take a discount off the wholesale price. So you're getting your oils below wholesale. Then to continue that below wholesale, you are not required to purchase every month. However, if you do, and you do it with what we call the loyalty rewards program, then loyalty, that means monthly. If you place a small order every month, then you get a percentage put back into your account
as points that you can spend any way that you want to, right? And so you're getting, when you have a wholesale account, you're getting 25% off retail. When you're buying your oils on loyalty rewards every month, it takes a year. You start out getting 10% put back into your account, right? Just go to Vitamin Cottage and try to buy $200 worth and have them give you a $40 check, right? It ain't gonna happen. But that's basically the way it works. They give you 10%. I said a $40 check, a $20 check at 10%. And then you do that for 3 months, and then it goes up to 15%, and you do that for 3 months, and it goes up to 20%. And after about, in your 13th month, it goes up to 30%. So you combine that 30% with the 25% that you get off for being a wholesale customer, and that's 55% off. So I pay 55% off retails. It has nothing to do with the fact that I sell this. They pay 55% off. And, as you two, they just set up accounts.
3 of them.
3 of them.
Well, Ashley's had one for a while.
I'm going, no, Ashley's had hers.
Glenda and Chelsea.
But Glenda and Kelsey set up an account last week. If they continue to order consistently, they'll be in the same place where they're at 55% less than retail. So that's what we recommend. Now, doTerra has a special that if you place an enrollment order in this month, and you place a 100-point order. Now, a point is $1 on oils, okay, on most of the oils. doTerra is an international company, and so they had to have a consistent point value because the yen and the Dutch mark are not the same as, the American dollar. So that everything is based on points. So a point is $1 on most of your oils. And so if you place a enrollment order of at least 100 points, and then you place a 100-point order in February, then in March, doTerra is going to give you 100 points back into your account. That's effectively $100 back. Try to get that at Natural Grocers, right? It is not going to happen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come around, and for those of you that don't have accounts, we're just going to see what you're working on and see what we can help you. And I let you know what the kits are, and go from there. Does that sound fair?
Is that a gallon?